Ryan S. First to the internet. What is up, internet? What's going on, internet? It's Thursday, the 15th of June, and it is raining and cold in lovely Tacoma, Washington. It's cold and raining all day. TITI coming in second, hot off the presses, internet style. What was the song I was singing? Oh yeah, pop 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 bing. Ow, Jesus. Sorry, just jabbed my foot. I hurt my foot. Lifestyle. No, I'm okay. I'm all right. What is going on? Hey, Josh Cuesta, Luis, what's up, man? Joel Gillett, what's up? Hello, it's the internet. Yeah, internet. I guess we should just let everybody arrive, and just say internet over and over again. And of course, discuss the weather for a moment. Cold and raining. Tacoma, windy, cold, raining. Not all that bad though. Can't complain. It's not frozen. There was nothing's frozen. There's no ice or anything like that. So it was just wet. And use the favorite word in the English language, moist. Everybody hates the word moist for some reason. I think it's a good word. I think it's good. I think it's worth using. This toothpick's used up. I need a new one. Need a freshie. Speaking of toothpicks and tooth care, had to order a new Sonicare for my old man chompers. I can't believe it. I actually broke a Sonicare toothbrush by brushing my teeth too much. It was a little odd. I've never broken one. I've worn out the heads and everything. I've always lost them or something along those lines. I never wore one out. So I had to get a new Sonicare and blasted the hell out of my teeth and loving it. Luis says it's going to be 119 degrees on Tuesday in Scottsdale. Actually, I have a friend down in Arizona who was posting the weather for Arizona, and I just said no, I'm not ever doing that. I don't want to go back to that really ever again. The closest I would go is Eastern Washington, where it does get 120 every once in a blue moon, but definitely not every year like Arizona does. So I have spent some serious days in Eastern Washington where it was 120, and it's not cool. Not for me, man. Not for me. I know a lot of people love that stuff, and my sister, being one of them, loves that super heat. I'm not. It wipes me out, kicks my butt. Probably because I spent so much time working in hot kitchens. That's probably where it comes from. I probably have PTSD from the heat. Oh, I forgot to click the thing over here. Hold on. I gotta... Other mouse. There we go. No, sorry about that, guys. I had to click the thing. Oh, hold on. I gotta click the other thing. Yep. I forgot to click the two things. There we go. Now we have the emails open and all that. All right, so when we go to that part of whatever this live stream is supposed to be, we'll have the email thing open. And we only have 4 emails this week, or tonight, today, as of today. But I did get some work done on the tank. Now, full disclosure here, guys. The chocolate milk is back. I fully admit I'm lacking on my filter swapping maintenance. And I kind of did things backwards. So typically what I do is I'll do the planting first, and then I'll change the filters out. I'd change the filters first like an idiot. So we do have some cloudy water we're dealing with tonight, which is not that big of a deal. I don't even... My tank has plants only in it right now, so it's not going to be a big... it's not going to be a big deal for anything right now because, I don't have any fish or shrimps or anybody in there having to deal with my Choco Piz water, you know what I'm saying? So, full disclosure, there will be some slight cloudy water coming up later. But as the title says here, the plant I put in was a little Crypt Lutea. Some of you probably getting tired of me planting the cryptocrine, but that's what's going on. The cryptocorn, cryptocrine, who, what? But that's what's going in the tank right now, and we'll be, stick with us here over time, and I'll be doing carpeting plants, and I have some anubias coming up. I have some mosses coming up that I got from Crispy Aquascape that need to be put onto some driftwood and stuff like that. So we'll be definitely doing more plants. Right now I'm just getting all the crypts put in because I love crypts, and they're going to go good with the apistos. A quick apisto update. They're growing fine, and we believe that July 2 will be the weekend that hopefully that goes down. We'll see how they grow, but they'll be hopefully right around there. So it's about 2 weeks from now. It's just slightly more than 2 weeks, but of course I'll keep you guys for sure updated on that. I'm still trying to source out some shrimp that are local. I managed to sort out some shrimp, but they are on the other side of the planet, which just does not really work shipping-wise. So, still sorting the shrimp, seeing what's going to be going on with that. Melody Monroe says, well, I bet Melody knows that I'm Joel, but she's probably talking to Joel Gillett, because apparently they are both... Wait. Okay, so Melody is on the Gold Coast, and I want to know... I think... Okay, that should be Australia, right? That should be Australia, I think. Dear. Joel Gillett says to hit up Lucas Bretz for shrimp. I don't know who Lucas Bretz is, but I'm looking for some very specific shrimp. And like I said, I found them in Taiwan, which is not going to work getting them shipped here. I don't even know how they get them here if they can't do that. I think the shipping cost they said was going to be like $125 or something crazy like that. And no joy. No joy on that. No joy on me ordering 100 shrimp and it costing $100 to ship them, and there just be really no guarantee coming international whether or not they'll get hung up, customs and all that kind of stuff. So I am looking for Pinto King Kongs is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for black King Kongs with the Pinto gene is what I'm looking for. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes with sourcing those out. Joel's going to ask them for me, which would be great. IRB Aquatics. I don't know IRB Aquatics either. Well, look at me not knowing any of these, but these are great input, guys. I like it. What kind of shrimp and how many? I assume Caridina again. You guys are saying Flip Aquatics. I probably will email him at some point in time. Mr. Lup Diesel himself. And we'll see. Yeah, okay. So Joel's going to email some people. We'll see how this goes. Dwayne Kitchell's in the house. What's up, man? Oh, feel my swag. It showed. Always nice. And Melody is in Australia. Legitimately in Australia. Probably got that Aussie accent, I would guess. Which y'all think is normal. but I think it's normal to say y'all, I guess. So it definitely goes two ways, right? That's a two-way street. Alpha Pro Breeders is on my list, and they only had 4 in or something like that, so that wasn't really going to work out. But I'm going to see if my trip to Portland is going to work out, because I might be able to order to the wet spot and then pick them up. That might work out, and we'll see how that goes. Aquarium, he's a long-time follower. Maybe I should hit him up and see what he's got. But like I said, I'm looking kind of like very specifically into what kind of shrimp I'm trying to get. So, and they're obviously not that common. If I just wanted to go back and do cherry shrimp and that kind of stuff again, then it wouldn't be that difficult. I could actually just go pick those up tomorrow. It wouldn't be that difficult. There's a local breeder out here that I could just go to and get them. Check with Jose Guerrero on Facebook. I import with him. He does through Skyfish and other companies. Group buys. Shipping is only cost of domestic. He's in California. Okay, I'll definitely be looking up a bunch of this stuff. I actually save the chat stream, so I'll be able to email some of these people. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all these suggestions. Yeah, IRB and all those. Yeah, okay. They're all, some of them I've heard of, some of them I haven't. So we'll see how it goes. Dwayne Kitchell's asking, how long do you feel the tank needs to run before I add shrimp? Well, the shrimp are actually going to be going into the 180 is going to be where the shrimp habitat is. So I'm actually cycling the 240 right now, which is almost done. It's on a pretty quick schedule with how long the cycle is going to go for, and then I'll be able to use mature media over into the 180 once I set up the 180 to get its cycle done. So it really won't take all that long to get the tank set up. It's really just kind of a timeline of getting the 180 rolling, because I did make the decision I want to go with the bigger, with the 240 with the fish, and do that, just because it'll give me a lot more leeway as far as like, you guys know I'll have the apistogramas in there, but I can also add other fish and have a little more space for it. The 180 is a pretty big tank to do for a shrimp tank anyhow, so I feel like that's going to be sufficient in the meantime. And who knows, maybe I'll win the lottery, or I know we're always picking on Mark Zuckerberg on here. I mean, we got to figure out some other rich guy to talk about. Oh, maybe Paul Allen will come on and super chat 100 million, and I'll just open a new aquarium down here in Tacoma with a 400,000 gallon crystal shrimp tank or something. Oh, it's LRB Aquatics. Oh, okay. The guy isn't going to have what you're looking for, though. Yeah, so that's kind of the issue, is that like there are a lot of places that I could go to get shrimp, even locally, but they're not necessarily carrying exactly what I'm looking for. As you guys know, my black crystals that I had before were all pretty much kind of flower and crown grade. I obviously had some lesser grade mixed in with them to keep them pretty varied in their genetics, but I'm looking for something pretty specific now, because I have the opportunity to start out with something really specific and hammer that home. The King Kongs are pretty hard. I have had experience with them in the past, so it's realistically is the breeding is more. It's not the breeding; it's keeping the little babies alive. That's to really simplify why it's difficult to do the black King Kongs. It's not difficult to get them to breed. It's difficult to keep the babies alive. Me being in a decent position to have a big enough tank to run them and provide enough food for them and stuff, I think it's probably time for me to go with even that higher grade of crystal shrimps. With like the King Kongs or something like that. I'm trying to find some green hulks, but those are almost impossible to find other than just like pictures. So we'll see. I might get lucky. I might get Paul Allen lucky, and just run across some somehow. I don't know. You never know. You never really know what's going to happen. I could always see if Corey knows of somebody in the area, because he actually knows a lot of people in the Western Washington. So we'll see how that goes. What's up, Ruru2? What's going on? Another potato passing by. That's a great handle. Well, thanks for the good luck. And I'm poking myself in the ear for some reason. I don't know why. Ruru2, what's up? Hi, Mohawk guy. We have like one more day of this haircut. And Vicky has put an appointment tomorrow night, which is going to interfere with our live stream, because tomorrow the live stream will probably be early. To those of you that can and rarely ever make it. I understand that I'm on Pacific time. So it makes it difficult for a lot of people to actually make it to the live stream unless I do it during the day, which is why Saturdays I typically try to do the live stream early on Saturdays. More often than not, I do it around 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time because it's a great time for me to get to the end of the day, which makes me a little bit scatterbrained because it really is the end of my day. I typically go to bed between 9:30 and 10 because I got to get up at 5 and rock and roll all day long. So that's why I am typically a little scatterbrained by the time I get to this point in the day, which I feel like a great time to do a live stream. So that's what's going on with all of that. Oh man, we're at the 17-minute mark, so we got to do the little business part here. There's two ways to support the channel and the live streams and all this stuff. If you like, all of your guys' contributions go right back into the fish room or the broadcast. Blah 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 blah. The first way to do it is go to darkstararts.com. darkstararts.com. That's my website. Look at stuff. Click through the Amazon banner and go ahead and buy whatever you want. Banjo strings, chocolate chips, and grenades. There we go. Put those three together and do something weird with them. It doesn't change any of the prices, blah, 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 but if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Just remember that if you click through it once, and it's been a long time, go back and click through it again, because you will no longer be tracked by the internet anymore. The other way to contribute is to click on the super chat button down there and contribute whatever you want. If you are going to contribute $100 million, go ahead and just email me directly and let me know that you're going to be doing that, and we can avoid paying YouTube huge royalties for transferring that money, if you know what I'm saying. Otherwise, hey, $1, $2, $5, whatever, just goes towards getting the fish room going, and keep working on that, because we sort of blew our budget remodeling, even though we didn't have a huge budget to begin with. So I've just been kind of piecing stuff together at this point when I can spend money. Like this last weekend, I spent a couple of bucks on some plants, and that's what we're doing. We're rebuilding. We're in the rebuilding process. Everything boiled and died, so that's what's going on. Dead Boy NYC, what's up? No, my green jades throw orange shrimp and orange reelies, but very few these days. Yeah, shocking about his shrimp breeding is, talking about his shrimp breeding. Joel Gillott, wow, I'll be home for once for tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow's stream will probably be like 5 o'clock. No. Probably 6 o'clock Pacific time. So 2 hours earlier than normal. It's probably right where it'll be at. We'll see how that goes. Sometimes I get stuck in traffic or loading all my stuff. Blah, 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 blah. But our friend's wedding is this Saturday, and I'm not sure when we'll be able to do the live stream on Saturday. Hopefully we'll be able to do it, and it won't interfere too much. We'll see how that goes. I'm not sure what our schedule looks like. I have to talk to Victoria about what's going on with that. KG Sicklet says, I have a glorious goatee. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I grew it right off my chin. A lot of people ask me why I grew a goatee in the first place and why I stay with it. I don't like shaving my chin. I really don't. So I grow a big beard off of it. And then it just seems like it got to a point where I just was going to rock this beard because that's just kind of what my face ended up looking like. And I always wondered why old guys with mustaches still had mustaches, and I bet it's the exact same thing that's happening to me, is that it's like, well, I was just rocking this beard, and now I'm old. So I can see how those guys might just be having rocked a mustache in the 70s, and it seemed like a good idea, and now all of a sudden they're old. So that's probably what it's all about. But thanks for the compliment. I like that. I don't know if you have a beard. Maybe you got a beard. Maybe you got a little beard. You got a little beard. Is it little? Rurutu is Chinese and facial hair challenged. Well, I got the gray in my beard, and I have to admit, I like it. I like having gray hair. Obviously, my head hair, it's a little more difficult to pick out than my face hair. But realistically, I like having some gray hair. I wish it was all white and gray, but that'll happen over time. Mainly because I just don't get bothered by as many people with the more gray hair I have. So, so I just see the benefit in it. And it doesn't hurt or anything, so I like it. Rurutu is Chinese and facially hair challenged. Well, I don't have an answer for that, unfortunately. It is funny though. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing how some people can grow facial hair and some can't. But then again, some people can slam dunk a basketball and I can't. I can't do that. I tried. I mean, maybe if I had like a springboard or something. Or a ladder. I could do it with a ladder. I have a ladder. I'm the owner of a ladder. I have like 5 ladders. So maybe I can slam dunk a basketball. But they won't let me on the court with a ladder. You know what I'm saying? NBA regs, man. Whoa, man. Did anybody, speaking of the NBA, did anybody watch that championship? I know a lot of people have been complaining about the Golden State Warriors have like too many good players. I don't understand it. There's all these weird people that talk about like competition in sport, yet those are the same people that always talk about like legacies, like the Steelers in the 70s, how they won like 4 or 5 Super Bowls in a row, or like the Celtics when they beat everybody a whole bunch of times, but it's in the past. But it's happening right now with Golden State, and yet they're all pissed off. I just don't get it. Like or the Lakers. Remember the Lakers had like every good player on it? Or the Bulls, when the Bulls won like 4 or 5 with like Michael Jordan and all those dudes. I just don't get it. I don't get why people are watching a dynasty happen at the time and now they're bitching about it. And I'd almost guarantee, like 10 years from now, those guys would be wandering around talking about how they saw the dynasty. I don't know. It's just weird. But sorry about the sidebar there, guys. That was just weirding me out when I was listening to a podcast earlier, and they were talking about it, and I was just like, what is happening right now? I find that bizarre. People get pissy about stuff like that. Oh, but we're about 20 minutes in, and I'm just rambling on about nonsense. So let's try to switch. We're gonna go over here to scene 3, and let's see how this works. Hopefully, we don't crash the old program. Oh, well, we got scene 3, but our live chat went away. What happened here? Why did our live chat go away? Oh, I gotta link it to the... Hold on. I can do this. Oh, maybe I can't. Oh, there it is. Ha, clicking buttons. Oh, there we go. Ha ha. So we sort of sorted it out, and now we have this black area down here at the bottom. Don't worry. Disregard this black area down here. It's not like there's supposed to be advertising or anything down there, because there isn't. It's just I had to crop the video and move it around and stuff. So, there we go. Now it's working. And like I said, I was screwing around with the filters and changing the polishing pad out before I did anything else. I had to add some water to the tank, and I sprayed it into the sump, and it sent out a big chocolate cloud of Choco Piz water, and then also messing around with the filter floss did that. And so bear in mind, when I plant later, that the water is a little cloudy, but don't worry about that. It's okay. I know it stresses out a lot of people on the internet if the water in your tank is a little bit cloudy. Don't worry about it. Just keep working on it, and it will get sorted out. Oh, hey, FU2, what's up? Oh, you missed all the beard talk, but don't worry. This will upload later, and you can hear about it. But there was some beard talk in regards to me just having a beard and whatnot. But hey, FU2 has a huge beard, which is strong. One of our moderators, Matt Weber, has a giant beard too, otherwise known as the Grizz. He's got a giant beard, and I visited him last summer out in Detroit, and that was a lot of fun. I made a short video of his reef tank, which is, I have to tell you, he has a pretty dope reef tank at his house. But now he's hooked on 3D printing and doesn't upload any videos of his tank because he's constantly 3D printing things. So, not all that bad. Oh, Dwayne with the leftovers. I rarely ever get leftovers in my beard. It's because I'm an adult. Because they're not leftovers if I'm still eating, right? You know what I'm saying. But I can't tell if this video is ending. But people have asked me a lot in regards to having a sump and why I run sumps on freshwater tanks. And honestly, I took a page from the reef guys. A lot of the reef guys I talked to talked about running their sumps. And I thought about it, and I went, I don't know why there aren't more people using sumps in freshwater tanks, because all of the upsides, when I talked to the reef guys, seemed like upsides that would work on a planted tank. And the slight trade-off would be, you don't have a skimmer in a freshwater tank, but in a freshwater tank, you have a CO2 reactor in the sump instead of having a CO2 stone or diffuser that sends all the stupid bubbles around your tank and looks like crap. You can actually run a CO2 reactor. Sorry, did I say diffuser? I don't know. I might have said diffuser, but a CO2 reactor in the sump that keeps all the CO2 equipment out of your tank. You can keep your heater down there, keep all your filter material down there, do your changes down here without turning it off. I just leave it on and change all my stuff out. And as Rurutu was saying, most freshwater people have smaller tanks, like under 55, not enough monies for a sump. I get that, but, with like the Petco $1 a gallon, with the Petco like $1 a gallon sale, you can easily just go pick up a 20 long for $20 and put a couple of baffles in it, or nothing in it, really, and just run it as a sump and put all your equipment down there. You can even run hang-on back filters down in the sump. That's stuff that you could do. And, I don't know. The upside is that there are so many upsides is the way that I look at it, is the reason that I do it that way. So let's see if we can switch video scenes here. Badoom. We're talking about interneting stuff. Look at that. Swapped over to the next video scene with just 53,000 frames dropped. So Not a big deal, right? It's only 53,000 frames. For whatever reason, my encoder is dropping frames today, so hopefully we'll still get a good video quality out of it. You never know. TITI is 17, so it's hard for me to get a good beard going. Yeah, that is going to be a problem for a little while. Although I had a bit of a beard when I was 17, so who knows? I don't know. Oh, look at my camera focusing all over the place, doing ridiculous stuff. But yeah, what was going on here? Oh yeah, I'd already changed the filter pads out. Got the reserve one out, stuck it in a bucket. The first filter pad that I swapped out into there is my reserve one, and I know it's the reserve one because it's much longer than the other ones. And here I am putting something in front of the sump. Oh, it's my step stool. That's where I use it. Overhead sumps. Oh yeah, I've never done one myself, like for my own tanks, but I've done stuff like that for other people's setup. That seems to get expensive, as far as I'm concerned. Rurutu uses a garbage can for a sump. That works great, especially with ponds and stuff like that. More often, well, not more often than not. Very often, people run their pond filters out of a garbage can, which actually works surprisingly well if you can set it up correctly, like those old swirl filters and stuff like that. Those work pretty darn good. And I think in the video here, I think I pull out the wrong plant first, and I'm kind of organizing the plants I got from Crispy Aquascape in this little tray I got right here, keeping them sorted. I've been putting them in the bag and changing the water out into the bags, but now the tank is good enough. The water is quality enough that I'm just going to rock them in that tray without the bags anymore, because I'm going to be hopefully planting those plants tomorrow. Oh man, hey, FU2 found a 240 on Craigslist for $100. I actually found a 240 in a local group for $200, and a guy bought it. He bought it, and so I responded to the ad 9 minutes after it had gone up. A guy had responded to and already paid the guy 2 minutes before that. So 7 minutes is how long it lasted. And to be honest with you, I was pretty pissed because I wanted to buy that aquarium for $200. But if you are looking for like a big acrylic tank or whatever, that is pretty much exactly what Hey FU2 just put in there. Really big fish tank is what you would want to look for, because more often than not, really big fish tanks come up on Craigslist or whatever when people are trying to get rid of them, like out of a rental property, or someone in their family left it there, or this or that, the other thing. You can find really good deals on Craigslist because people are trying to just get rid of a thing that is like in their garage or something like that. It works really well. What's up from Australia? That's the second person from Australia. Sean Crabe. I don't know how to say your last name. Crabe. Sean Crabe from Australia. Wherever Morgan went. Where'd Morgan go? Or not Morgan, Melody. Melody Monroe is in Australia also. And Joel Gillett representing New Zealand. I don't know where anybody else is except for like Dead Boy is in New York. Dwayne out of Kentucky. We have a lot of Americans. Here. Dave Giles made it. He's got his hoe. What are we planting? We are planting Crypt Lutea today is the one that's going in. The next plant that is going in. Mostly, these are mostly crypts. I got 3 or 4, maybe five varieties. I think I got 5 varieties of crypts that are going in. So I think we got the bronze in there. We got the undulata. We got the lutea. We got the green variety, which is the first one I pulled out, and then I put it back in because it's not where I was going to be planting tonight. That one will probably be going. I'll probably be planting that like maybe Saturday or something like that. But trying to keep this all organized. And then Crispy Aquascape sent me some Java ferns, some Trident Java ferns, which I'm going to put in a back corner in the meantime to let them go. I am putting my hands up like that, like a weirdo, because there were 10 in this pot. This was the one pot that wasn't really overgrown that I got, but there were 10, and then there was one more, so there was 11 in this one. The other ones I got 20-something out of all of them. There's this little bonus one here right at the end. Boom, there we go. But got 11 out of this, and then which, you know, is decent. Pretty much you get 5 out of ones that haven't been grown out at a store or whatever. But that's one of the things I was talking about in the earlier live streams in the week. If y'all haven't watched those yet, go back and watch them like 30 or 40 times. Just to kind of, you know, bump those numbers up, right? You know what I'm saying? Just like bump those numbers up. But we were talking about that earlier in the week where, you know, if you go to a store and you see potted plants there, you want to find the ones that are really established, that have been there a long time and have had a chance to grow pretty well. I think that's the end of... Hold on, let's see. Nope, that's not the end. I had to go outside for something at this point. So the camera will just be sitting there doing nothing for however long. But I'll come back. I swear. Where did I go? Hold on, we'll advance the video here. Oh, there we go. There I am. I'm back. The Crypt Lutea generally only grows for me about 6 to 8 inches tall. And it's kind of stringier. It's kind of a stringier, weird plant. So I'm actually kind of packing it in the middle to the back of this corner of this bit of driftwood that's right here. So anybody has any questions about how big this tank is, it's not the biggest tank in the world, but it's pretty big. This whole pot of plants just takes up this little tiny area by the time I'm done, and doesn't look that great. Dwayne Kitchell saying there was a really big tank on Aquabid. The guy said the $6,000 price was what the carpenter was going to charge him to pull on a wall off on the cabin so they could get it outside. I'm not sure. So the carpenter was going to charge $6,000 to pull the wall off so they could get it outside. Was it a 5,000 gallon tank? I'm confused here. That's a percent tank. KG Cichlid says, get some fat Anubias in there. I do have some Anubias in the sump right that is going to go in here. And oh yeah, that reminds me, the one thing that I need to, so it's a 5, okay, so Dwayne's getting back. He's saying it was a 5,000 gallon tank. That is a big tank. That is a big, big tank. I imagine... I don't know what I would do with a 5,000 gallon tank. You need like a bulldozer or a front end loader or something to move that around. That is immense. That is a big tank and big, huge glass. I don't even know. I don't even know if somebody said they were going to bring one by for free if I would take it or not, honestly. Because that's kind of an immovable object. You know, it'd be like somebody saying they would bring by their old garage and just drop it off on my property. You know. Although maybe if somebody was going to bring by a 5,000 gallon tank for free, we'd probably just bury it in the ground and make it into a pond. That's probably what I would do. Oh, Joel Gillett has a good point. Remember to like the stream, or he'll get super depressed and sad. And then he'll remember he's in New Zealand and go hang out with the hobbits or something. But as KG was saying, I do have some Anubias that's going in there. You guys know that have been following me for a long time. I am pretty much obsessed with Anubias. I'm pretty much obsessed with crypts. I'm pretty much obsessed with plants, period, whenever you get down to it. Whether it's farming or whatever. And that video just started over, so we got to change it to the other one. Haha, there we go. And this is terrible because Like I said, I got all this chocolate doo-doo floating around in here, and all the driftwood is right in the way. So I couldn't really get much of a good camera shot of where I planted it. But needless to say, it's planted in there, and it looks super janky right now because the return was blowing right at it. So I ended up moving the return at some point in time in this little video clip here to get it out of the way. But yeah, you should definitely like the live stream, like Joel says, because he's the guy. He's the guy for show. Sean Crabe. I enjoy these live streams because I have Fridays off, so I can have a rum and a cigar while I watch. Okay, right on. That's a good way to enjoy your day for sure. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. I got a lag in my chat for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, a 5,000-gallon aquarium must have been in a gigantic house. That is pretty intense. I don't know why anyone would have thought that was really a great idea to install in a house in the first place. It's probably the reason why they do get carpenters out there. That house was probably screwed up. But $6,000 to remove a wall seems like a lot of money. But, you know, whatever. I'm affordable, I guess. Jennifer J. Sarcino. I wonder if you say it Saracino. Saracino? Saracino. I don't know how to say your name. But I have a good time trying to. And failing. Or succeeding. You never know. KG Cichlids got Congensis, SP Golden, Nana Petite, and some giant ones. Yeah, I got some Nana Petite and a couple other things going in, which I don't want to spoil the surprise. But we've kind of run out of video here. So what we will do is go back to scene 1. And it worked. All right. I got to fix my hair. There we go. Now it looks good. Hey, ladies. Sean Crabe's asking how long before the reef gets started. The reef is getting started very soon. As I was talking about earlier this week, we're finally able to get it up on the stand. I had some of the ladies were here, and we used woman power. We used the power of estrogen and deep knee bends to do a power squat of a 180-gallon tank and put it right up on the stand. Honestly, I can't lift that thing by myself without risking irreparable damage to my back. I could lift it. It just is stupid to try and do it myself. So the ladies were here before we went to Wonder Woman, which was a fairly entertaining movie. And they all each grabbed a corner, and we plopped it up there on the stand, which was great. And I really appreciated it because Carson said he was going to come help on Sunday, and then he never showed. So where are my buckets and wheels? Carson's got them still. He's still got my garbage cans. He's had them for like a year. So I'm at the point right now where I'm probably just going to go buy a couple garbage cans so I can start making my RODI water for the reef, because I have a box of reef salt right over there. I got the tank up on the stand, and I need to finish plumbing the sump, which is not going to take very long because I have all the parts and just need to assemble them. So it won't be any kind of a big deal. And I do have a new sump for the 180 that is going to run the reef equipment. Corey from the co-op in Edmonds said he was going to text me a picture of the skimmer, and he never did because I guess he had a giant skimmer, which may or may not come in handy, and who knows what happened to him. So he's probably wicked busy yelling at people because something about his background for his 800-gallon. I don't know. Dwayne is saying, no, was a cabin on a lake. The previous owner was a game fisherman and used it to keep big game fish on a 4-wall cabin. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. I might someday end up being a creepy dude in the woods with a cabin and a 5,000 gallon tank. Vicky, does that seem weird? She's not listening. But I might end up doing that at some point in time. Although I did find a 1,200 gallon tank has come up for sale locally. That is actually a trout breeding tank, which I was looking at, and I was thinking, that might actually be a really good tank to start the pond with. But unfortunately, it's 16 feet long, which is not going to work out because I have a spot where I have much more width than length, if that makes sense. We have 12 feet by 9 feet, so it's kind of more like a big rectangle, and it's not long. So a 16-foot tank would have hung over the edge of where we want it to be. Although I'm keeping an eye on that to see if maybe it comes up super cheap. Maybe they just might want to get rid of it for free. If that does come up, then we might just scoop that thing up and use it for aquaponic retaining pond kind of thing, if that makes sense. But right now, shelling money out for something that's not exactly right doesn't seem like the greatest idea. So, but a 1,200 gallon tank also isn't even really that big when you get down to it. When we build the pond, I was doing the math on it. So let's see here. So 12 feet by 9 feet. So let's see, every 2 feet's 240. Let's do some quick math here. 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. So the actual pond that we're going to be doing is probably around 3,600 gallons, 36 to 4,000, right about there, is what the pond will be, plus the filter, plus all the filter volume of water. Looks like a brain fart, but that'll be right around 4,000 to 5,000 gallons probably all together, which seems like a lot when you say it like that. But in a pond situation, it's not really that aggressive because, like I said, it's going to be 12 feet long and 7 foot wide and 3 foot deep plus a 5 foot deep section. So that's what the other 2 feet I was adding on when I was doing the math to the 9 foot. But yeah, that's about the volume that will be in the pond here, which I think is going to work out pretty well regarding that. And heating it and powering it is going to be pretty easy because we're going to do solar power on that, most likely with 2 deep cycle battery bank that's actually going to run the pump at night, and the heater will kick on off of that, and it won't really be too intense. We're using the sun for the light and all that stuff, and running the greenhouse will be super cheap and effective that way. It'll basically be setup cost and then just maintenance, which hopefully will end up paying for itself in the long run if we're selling produce and this and that to local folks, which would be a lot of fun. FU2 saying to sign you up for something. I don't know what to sign you up. Vinny Mac is in the house. What's up, dude? What's going on? How are all the kids? How's the wife? How's the Midwest treating you? I'm not really sure what's going on out there. Buzz Lightyear is saying hello from the Philippines. What's up, man? Sorry I missed your chat there. If I'm missing your guys' chats, you guys can always super chat, and then it comes up big, and I won't probably miss it. But I have to say, like the 240, I'm pretty stoked on how things are kind of falling in place now that I do have it up and running again. The plant things are starting to happen. And then also, as I was talking about earlier, the apistos should be grown out right around the weekend of July 2nd. So that's like probably 2.5 weeks from now. They'll probably be grown up and big enough to transfer, aka drive up from Oregon to here. So that will be pretty good. All right, Martha Newsom has emailed me a question of what should you put in the overflow hole to prevent shrimp getting in the sump. Well, Martha Newsom, you should watch the live streams because we have talked about this on the live streams quite a bit. But I actually have something right here that I can show y'all. So y'all got your bulkhead for your overflow, right? I got a little secret right behind here. Bodow. You want to get one of these. A slip fit screen actually just goes right into the bulkhead. Now, bear in mind, these have a tendency to get clogged up. If this is the only overflow you have in your tank, you need to keep an eye on this. You cannot just put this in here and then forget about it. This can get clogged up with all sorts of just detritus, fish shit, whatever, cat hair, I don't know. It can get clogged up with whatever that could be floating around in your water and getting into your tank or from your tank and cause that to get clogged up and overflow your tank. So if this is really confusing to people, the parts list is in the Amazon store, which is on the main page and all that kind of stuff. But bear in mind, the Amazon store is going to be going away. Amazon is no longer going to be allowing people to post links to specific products in the Amazon store anymore. So they just released a notice of that the other day. They're not going to be doing it. They're not going to let you do it. They're just going to say, no, you can't list specific stuff anymore. But this is what you're looking for. And these ones I get from Lifeguard Aquatics. So if you want to look up Lifeguard Aquatics on Amazon, you'll probably get an overflow. And then they come in whatever size you got here. So hold on. This bulkhead right here is a 1 inch. This bulkhead right here is a 1.5. This overflow screen is 1 inch. And now we got a problem. See what I'm saying? So they all come in the size of whatever your whatever size bulkhead you're going to be putting it in. Just match those up, and you'll generally get what you are looking for. Potatoes sent me an email saying that he doesn't lurk too often. But here's the thing: when we talked about how he was lurking around, he is always lurking. Potato is always watching. Potato knows what you're doing. He's like Santa Claus. His presence becomes really important when it needs to be really important. So that's it for today on a Thursday. We don't have any other emails. Oh, we have a message from Dwayne Kitchell. Frank Zappa once ended a concert in Fayetteville, Arkansas, while wearing a hog hat. Good night, Fayetteville, wherever you are. I do like Frank Zappa. I don't know if I can really get down to his music all that much, but I do appreciate him as an artist, that is for sure. Vinnie Mac has not checked back in, so we don't really have much else to do. Sean Crabe's talking about awesome, looking forward to seeing the videos. Wonder Woman was a great movie. Wonder Woman was a great movie. It was entertaining for sure. But Sean was referencing the Reef. The Reef is up and coming. I have a bunch of stuff staged, like the live rock and all that stuff is going to be very easy because I have a lot of that staged somewhere else. So I have all my lights, I have all my equipment and everything. And like I said, I have a new sump that I acquired for the 180 because I'm going to be changing the sump from the old 180 is going to go on. Okay, now this is confusing if I'm just talking about it. So the new 180 is where the shrimp are going. The old 180 is where the Reef is going, and they're gonna swap. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna swap sumps. You know what I'm saying? So this sump's gonna go over there under that one, and this one's gonna go under the other one. Right? Basically, the two sumps I have, one will work better for saltwater, one will work better for freshwater. And, of course, I'll highlight that and explain, what the one or two things that I do know to you guys and let you guys know what the real differences are and what my experience has been in the past of basically breaking stuff. That's pretty much how I learned most of this stuff. As Dwayne was saying, is that like swapping spit? It's like swapping spit. It's like it's might be like swapping spouses or something. It's it's frowned upon. Let's just put it that way. But it'll work out fine, and the later videos will explain why we're swapping those. Vinny Mack is asking if I have any breeding projects going on. Vinny, you must not be watching. We moved and bought a house, and we have a lot of new projects going on here at the new house. A big part of the problem with the move is that a whole entire colony boiled in a bucket of all my shrimp and fish and all that stuff, and everything ended up dying off in the move. And it was kind of depressing for a little while, but we're forging a path ever forward. Fully remodeled a new fish room into the garage here in the old ancient garage, and now we finally have a tank running up in there, and we've been planting the new tank. So that's kind of what's going on. We do have chickens here. None of them are breeding. They actually just make eggs, and we feed them and take care of them. We have 6 Black Dominique chickens, which produce a fair amount of eggs. We just always have eggs. Let me put it that way. We always have eggs, and we always have somewhere to send all of our table scraps and all that kind of stuff. They go bananas for that shit. He's asking about hogs. We do have a family connection to a new pig farm that is new to the family up in Alaska, and we'll be going up there in August, barring any world tragedies or anything like that. We'll be heading up there in August, and we'll probably definitely be making some videos of that. Currently, the population of pigs at the farm in Alaska was 6 and is now, as of last count that I got, 32, I think. I'll have to double check and see what happened. They had 3 litters. 3 litters of pigs and piglets as of last check. And there should be another litter on the way. So we'll see how that goes as time progresses, because we'll be getting some updates. As far as the fish and stuff goes, we've got a lot of projects coming. We don't have a ton of them running right now, but we are slowly but surely building on them. I'd like to say thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. Everybody from the other side of the world, from Australia to New Zealand to, let's see, who else did we have? From the Philippines. We had some homies checking in from the Philippines, from New York, Kentucky. Man, all around the world. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. My man, Luis, I don't know what happened to you. You seem to have dropped off. But that's it for Thursday, the 15th of June. Hopefully, everybody has a great night. Stay safe out there. It's raining in Tacoma. It's cold. But definitely living the dream. I hope everybody else is living the dream. Avoid the nightmare. Get a full 8 hours. And get ready for Friday, because Friday is coming up. And now I got to find the button. Where's that button? Later. Oh, Cichlid Bro finally made a live stream for the last 10 seconds. Shout out to my boy Cichlid Bro. Chiclet Bro. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll text you. All right. Later, guys. Bye.